Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for taking time out of your busy day. And this is the November 13th meeting of the Metro Rail Committee Council. And we do not have a quorum yet, so I will just go on with everything else that we will hear. My chair's report. We're expecting Francine in the next 15 or so minutes, so that'll make us official. All right, so in April, after many back and forth discussions over the prolonged outage that Amtrak wanted to do with repairing the East River tubes which served the station to Sunnyside Yard, Amtrak, of course, Long Island Railroad, the big user, and NJ Transit, they store trains in the yard. In order to repair Superstorm Sandy damage, it's now over 10 years. Amtrak took out line 3, and with that, they cut service on the Empire service to upstate New York. So the governor on October 20th had a press event, and she announced that starting next spring, Metro North will extend one of their morning trips up to Albany, and will come back a couple of hours later. We don't have the timetable yet, so that's going to happen. And of course, the fares are how much they're going to charge. I understand there's going to be a $40 fee to ride Metro North up there, and apparently Amtrak has agreed to cap their fares at $99. Right now, it's just with Amtrak, it's like buying an airline ticket. It's based on the demand of tickets. So that will happen. And another thing that's going on is that one of the big projects that will affect Bronx riders is the opening of what's called the Penn Station Access. Penn Station Access is filled with 4 new stations in the Bronx to underserved areas. They don't have really great options for coming into New York City. We'll go the other way. So the Hellgate line, which is used by Amtrak exclusively now, they will be building it out, fixing it up, making repairs to the tracks and building those 4 stations. But it's already behind schedule because of Amtrak not living up to their signed agreements. The chairman had a big blowout with them a few weeks ago and announced that. And so they're exploring options to see what they could do moving. Hey, welcome, Rich.
Rich here.
All right, thank you, Rich.
Aye.
Are we work?
No, put on mute.
If he's at his home, then yes. So we may want to wait for
All right,
him to
wait.
save.
Okay. Anyway, the project was supposed to open in the 2027. I think the 3rd quarter now is delayed to somewhere around 2030, 2nd quarter of 2030.
I have heard that they may be able to open some of the stations earlier than that. And I guess they're looking into that.
So anyway, MTA had similar problems of them failing to support the project, the East Side Access. It cost us $1 billion or something like that, and years and years and years of delay till we could run the service because they didn't provide personnel to remove the power, and they didn't supply the personnel to protect as flaggers to protect the workers on the tracks. And there's really not much we can do about it. Okay, so Metro North on-time performance continues to be impressive. Service delivery in September was in the high 90s in the Hudson Harlem, New Haven, and even on the Mascot Valley and Port Jervis on the other side of the Hudson. The mean distance between failures to August was 373,000 and change, which is higher than the goal of 200,000. Despite the fact that Metro North, operated half-hourly leaf looper service on the weekends of October 25th and 26th, and November 21st and 2nd, our vice chair, who was out there photographing trains, has a report that he could give quickly.
Yeah, well, I was up at Cold Spring, north of Cold Spring, and a lot of people, every time a train comes in, you see a whole bunch of, a multitude of people walking all over the place. Anyway, when I was finished up there, I said, I wanted to see one of the trains close up. And I tried to get to the Cold Spring Station and it was gridlock. I couldn't get near the place. I went to Garrison. And I saw two trains come in. And there was standees still on them when the train left Garrison going further north. And there was a train every half hour, so the service was frequent. Like, there were so many passengers, there were people standing. And I saw a very unhappy conductor. He says, well, I've got to get back in here now and try to collect some tickets. But there are lots of people riding that particular weekend anyway.
October 25th is also the Tarrytown Halloween Parade, which has been extremely successful in convincing people to take Metro North to get there,
Oh, that's good.
but is definitely crowded.
Okay. Well, after going through the acceptance testing. The new Siemens locomotives, which can run on the electric on the third rail all the way up to Brooklyn Harmon and up to southeast on the Harlem line are now in service, although we left them on a train we were coming down with, gave us a different story. We don't have anybody from Metro North on this, do we?
No.
I just saw May, she thought maybe Andy would jump on, but he's not on.
All right.
Sorry.
They come on, we'll ask him.
Yeah.
We had last month too, and they blew us off.
So this was after I submitted my report on, I got this cryptic email, we can change it to confidential, big bold letters, don't discuss with anybody. So anyway, I went on Monday morning, 8 o'clock, I was at the North of White Plains Yard. They have what they call the unveiling of the eighth, this is the eighth one, right? The eighth wrap, not painted, but wrapped locomotive honoring veterans and on the Vietnam battle. So I was invited to the ceremony and there were plenty of pictures taken and the press release. Who doesn't get press releases here?
We do.
We got them.
You guys, you get them?
Yeah.
And you get press releases? Yeah. I saw the pictures were all over the press release.
But the Journal News had a big spread about this event with pictures and everything about mentioning also the other locomotives named after predecessor railroads. It's very nice publicity.
So
What's this on? You have a light on it there.
Oh.
Is it a pen or is it?
It's a
Oh,
phone.
Camera, your light,
So-
pull your battery. There you go.
Sure, Lord.
I was looking at that too. I was like,
Anybody know how to shut these things off?
no legend play with
it's
it.
an action-packed day here.
Probably go to the seventh.
Spotlights, cameras, action, literally.
Mine,
I know,
the light bulb here, it is right on the top. It's pushed that.
Oh, yeah, I've done this. I don't remember how to do this.
Oh, John,
But-
right.
Hey, give it to a young person, they'll figure it out.
I'm on it.
My
So-
grandchildren could do it.
As I was leaving the yard, I just stopped, for the gate
There
to
you
go
go.
off. The phone rang, it was.
It's not a thing, it's like-
Oh, glad I put
Oh,
you.
thank you, Miss here. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, all right.
So I'll just finish up what I was saying here, as I was leaving the yard, one of the staff, I mentioned, called me and said, are you still around? I said, no, I just left already. Oh, because they News 12 wanted to interview us, so I missed out on that. Tuesday,
Thank you.
So Tuesday, I was down back at Grand Central with my wife and my daughter, around with my grandkids for the annual ceremony for Veterans Day. So that takes care of my chair's reports, and let me go back since we have a forum. I will ask for the approval of the agenda for today, so I'll make a motion to accept our agenda.
So.
Second, all in favor? Okay, so we're good with that. We have the official meeting. Minutes were distributed, but carefully prepared by the staff. And I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Aye.
Okay, then I will, you're approved. So now back to this. And,
I have a quick question regarding the minutes.
sure,
On the front page, it shows an asterisk by my name, but virtual by Rich and Francis. What's the difference?
The actor
you were-
for the, oh, sorry, go ahead. It was the the asterisk corresponds with the remote location that you've posted. That
Ah.
means that you count towards the
You
quorum
count towards the quorum,
versus people who don't list.
and at the top you have your asterisk is that was you that was at that location, so.
Okay,
More for
I-
like attendance purposes.
thank you.
All right. So next item is the bylaws. So who's talking about the bylaws?
So, Brian is unfortunately at the council hearing, and so Brian prepared most of the detailed changes for the bylaws. But, we have discussed them at prior meetings. Do you have a copy of them?
I do not, sorry. I know that we had discussed them last month and it was moved to be voted for this month.
Correct.
So unfortunately, I did not bring those, I'm sorry. If anybody needs them again, I could send them. But I think it was to make the. To be
It was
moved.
pretty self-explanatory as discussed last month.
Okay.
So
I think we could just move forward and.
Motion.
Motion to approve.
Second it. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question. If you look in the minutes on page 4,
Mhm.
it doesn't tell me the status, so I'll take a minute and read it here. It says, based on guidance from the New York State Office of General Services, the policy now requires that such members be asked to resign following a 2/3 vote. If the member does not respond to email, phone, and certified mail outreach, the elected official who nominated them will be contacted to suggest a suitable replacement. For a point of clarification, at that point, are they no longer on the committee, or what is the status then?
They are on the committee until they either sign the resignation letter and submit it to us, or submit it to the governor really. Or until their recommending elected official removes them. So
Okay.
this came up because of a real life issue that we had on the Long Island Railroad Commuter Council where someone had not attended a meeting for a full 2 years, and then we finally received their resignation after mailing it with return receipts and everything. But we could not remove them without getting that signature. And we were unable to, it was not in the official writing to have the elected official remove them, so they were not able to do that either. So the only way at that point was for the person themselves, who was really unavailable to us, to sign that letter. So these changes are supposed to make it a little bit easier in those very rare circumstances to remove members who.
Okay, but I guess maybe the actual document is clearer. It still doesn't tell me the person's removed. It just says, that elected official will nominate somebody and suggest a suitable replacement. But here it doesn't state, I guess from my reading, at what point if the person is removed at that point, or at what point they are removed.
And you're going based on the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe, so I don't have the actual bylaws in front of me. I do believe that
Because you have a break.
the
I don't know, I may have, but. I'd like to see it with these, how this came out.
Specifically, this was just the minutes on what was discussed, not in detail. At the meeting, that's what the minutes pull, you can find this one.
Well, how did the copy on this turn out and the bylaws?
Because we don't have the authority to vote them off.
So
So then we will contact them.
Right, so we don't have the authority to vote them off.
Correct.
They can sign themselves off, which was what happened in the instance of our Long Island Railroad member who called, emailed, certified mail. We finally sent something that was required a return receipt, and a week and a half later, he sent it back signed, which then we sent to the county executive. That
Right.
officiates.
I think he's asking, like, the process
Yeah.
doesn't quite state, all right, we reach out. And how many times do we reach out and how long do we wait? Is that where you're leading, Rosalind, or somewhere else?
Well, again, I'm just wanting clarification because it doesn't tell me the rest of the story. So, it basically says, and I'm looking at the minutes, and I just want to be clear that we're clear as to what the next steps are after that. Because in the minutes, it's just a bullet that says, the official who nominated them will be contacted to suggest a suitable replacement. It doesn't say what the process is for the individual now that we've gotten to this point.
No, so if the replacement is suggested by the elected official who nominated them, then I gather automatically the person is removed and replaced by this other individual. I think that's the intent of this.
I understand. I just, since we're voting on it, I want to make sure it's clear.
Hang on, I just pulled them up. Let me double check.
Yeah, well, conceivably, the person who appointed them or nominated them would say, I'm appointing Mr. Jones as a replacement for Mr. Smith. And then that would happen, and it was,
So I believe, oh, sorry, go ahead.
they're replacing his previous nominee with a new person.
And at what point,
Sorry,
So-
Rosalind, I can clarify. I think I figured out what the disconnect is here.
okay,
Put away and also, so basically. The language is, you're correct that the language does not officially say that the person is removed. Because by state law, we as the councils do not have the authority to officially remove someone. This is sort of giving the elected officials a little bit more justification for removing someone. And then we currently have a bill in Albany called the Rider Act that clarifies a little bit more of PCAC's authorizing legislation and the council's authorizing legislation. That would, I believe, Jack, create a little bit more clause for nominations and.
Yeah, the Rider Act broadens the slate of elected officials, so in terms of how it would work if someone was removed, I either they resign. Or we could solicit a new recommendation from any elected official, as is already the case with Metro North. And then that they would go through the appointments process. But yeah, and they'd either have to be resign or be removed officially. But if someone else fills the seat, somebody else fills the seat.
and so during this process, the person who's inactive basically is still on the committee until you replace them, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, correct. Yeah, sorry for the confusion. We can also send around the final version of the bylaws
That would be, that's a
after
good,
this
Yeah.
meeting.
okay, so,
So,
all right, is there any other discussion on it? Okay, so then,
You could already voted, right?
so we need
That was
to
discussed.
the motion,
Yeah.
Emotion.
all right, so the motion's on the floor, wants to second it?
Second.
All right, no more further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Right, done. And so you will send to the, that'll be case closed for a couple of years. Oh. All right, that takes care of that. Okay, so, Brian, time for your report. Oh, wait, no, Brian.
I have to report this month. This
Designated
is
hitter.
the
We have a DH.
number 3 and
That's right.
okay, so just a couple of updates this month. Our biggest focus at the moment is figuring out and laying the groundwork for our legislative agenda this next year. Lisa and Alden and Lisa and Jack just got back to. Lisa,
That is a nickname.
just got back from the Somos conference in Puerto Rico, which is where a lot of the magic happens, gearing up for the next legislative session. And also for, you may have heard a lot of news at the city level as well. So that really helps to build relationships with the appropriate elected officials and pushing forward.
Get a few more, if you give 1 minute.
Yes, I may ask Jack to say a few words about the Somos experience and the panel that Lisa sat on that you helped organize.
Oh, right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
You do it too?
I-
Well, yeah, we had a panel on Friday, Thursday, we had on, thank you, clearly I was fully present. No, we had a panel, went off without a hitch, we had opening remarks from Senator Cooney and, Assemblymember Tony Simone, Senator Comrie, the chair of the Corporations Committee showed up and was there for like at least the last 3/4 of it. Hugh Arroyo from the MTA was on the panel along with Betsy from Riders Alliance, Lisa, Myra, Myra from Riders Alliance, not Betsy. Others,
So,
yeah, David Doe, the
Yeah.
TLC commissioner, and Julie Todd from the New York League of Conservation Voters. So yeah, the panel was definitely successful, and then had some, had a lot of good conversations, a lot of relationships, I think, especially starting to build more relationships with city council, which will be helpful for our fair affairs push. I feel like on the legislative front, we kind of got most of what, really all of what we wanted, in terms of the, like, family fair and peak. So there's a little less pressure on that end, I guess, but always good to about it. Other things that happened. Yeah, I don't know.
laying the groundwork, mostly just laying the ground forward.
Yeah.
The voting representation on the board bill, the Rider Representation Act, and just building partnerships with elected officials is what he said.
Yeah. And we're starting to have meetings too. The goal this year is, since we have a pretty solid understanding of what we want, is just to try to get as much of the meetings done as we can before January, so that people have more time. It's less chaotic. I mean, of course, there's the holidays too, but January is a lot better. Hi, Andy.
Hello.
Hello,
He spoke to you for a second.
me? Okay,
God.
sorry.
This is the guy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. Yes, so that's mostly on the state side. We are working on our legislative agenda and would always love input from members on what other kinds of priorities and bills that you might be interested in us pushing for in the coming year. We're also working at the city and county level. That leads into another point, is that we have been in contract with Westchester County on trying to get a little bit more pressure to fill that vacancy, so that hopefully we can get other members from other counties appointed as well. We're working on scheduling a meeting to talk about the process and figuring out some names that maybe will be put forward. And then also just making sure that I think it's a big priority of us as staff to create and maintain relationships with the staff at both the city level, but also the counties around the region that we represent.
So it's brought the Bronx and Putnam.
Yes, we need a Bronx member, Putnam member, a Bike Ped member, and an at-large
We
member.
have a nomination for that already.
Yes. Yes, and then the, of course, the other Westchester member.
Right.
Yes, so we're chugging along there, is what Lisa would probably say.
So how many members do we need? How many are we missing?
So we are missing total, I believe it is, that was 5. The issue remains that we have 1 Westchester vacancy, and the governor's office does not want to put forth any other members until all 5 Westchester slots are full. So that's why this 1 Westchester vacancy is a bit of a holdup. And so we are, we have received responses. It's been a back and forth with the scheduling of this meeting. So this, I'm hopeful that things will happen. They have said they have some names in mind, and we've been in contact, so.
Okay, so it's Westchester, Putnam, Bike Ped, and the at-large.
And Bronx.
So-
The Bronx, in the
Yeah,
Bronx.
that's 5, yes.
I would also add too that when we met with the governor's office 2 weeks, about 2
Oh,
weeks
yes.
ago now, and I think we discussed a lot, but one of the encouraging parts of the conversation was that they mentioned when it comes to making appointments, that if the process is going very slowly, which it has in the past, to just let them know and they'll try to speed things along. So
That's encouraging.
And then hopefully with this, one of the bills that we mentioned in Albany, the Rider Act will hopefully make it so that a wider range of elected officials can make appointments. Not just for MNRCC, it sort of already is that way, and we've been in touch with a couple of state senators who are interested in potentially putting some names forward. So we're definitely, we're hearing some interest from people, and it's really just about locking in those names that they want to put forward and making sure that the governor's office is able to move on those.
Excellent.
Yes. And then just a couple other things, you may have seen in the news or the MTA's news clippings that we released a report this past Monday with the Night Perch Track Hangers campaign, their 18th annual Pokey and Schleppy Awards. They typically partner with another organization to do the data and numbers side of the report to figure out, they award the slowest bus in the city, the least reliable bus in the city, and then also this year we created a third award, the most improved bus in the city. And we
Mazel.
the Mazel Award, yes, is what we called it. And we were happy to support that report, and we did most of the numbers for that. Our wonderful intern Henry did a lot of the number crunching, and we had a really successful press conference right on 42nd Street because the M42 was the winner. So I'm sure a lot of Metro North riders also experienced that bus. But that was a successful report release, and we have a couple more in the pipeline, one on the Interborough Express coming up soon, and another one on buses, and then we are thinking through some potential upcoming reports to focus on in the next year.
What are we focusing on with the road first?
So we are, I won't share the takeaways yet, but we're looking at the potential benefits to upzoning and increasing housing supply around the Interborough Express, and then also the ways that doing so would benefit the MTA and the train line itself and riders on the line by increasing ridership. So we have some interesting numbers that will be coming out soon. And then lastly, we're keeping an eye on the fare change implementation. As Jack said, we were very happy about some of the proposals that we've been fighting for getting in there, like the family fare expansion and the senior and disabled discount on the AM peak. But we really want to make sure that riders know about that, and that the MTA is doing a good job of advertising that and communicating that to riders, in addition to the other changes that we were not as happy about, like the change in ticket validity windows. We just really want to make sure that they are over communicating to riders about those new changes that are coming soon. So we are in talks with the agency and hoping to see some ad campaigns coming out soon. Thank you.
All right. Social,
Alrighty. It was honestly a pretty light month this month in terms of social media, but I got three things. Metro North riders greeted the news that the railroad would expand service to Albany warmly. One rider specifically called for Metro North to expand the New Haven line all the way to East Providence, Rhode Island, which I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. Certainly ambitious. Another rider called for the Super Express trains to run on weekends in response to the announcement about the new schedule. And then finally, several riders stated that they really enjoyed the railroad's open house in New Haven this year. This was
it wasn't a great event.
that's it. That's all for me.
So it's your active on social media.
Okay,
Not on social media. You want to talk about the other? Okay, later.
Yes, we could, staff update, anything to,
I think that was it. Like, you had a question, Andy is able to join us for a few minutes. If you guys want to ask him any of our.
Yeah, so I'll just share, and I shared with Randy earlier today. I got an email actually from the concerned rider up in Mount Kisco, who we've heard from before. He had originally come on our radar screen talking about cleaning the tracks and removing garbage. He had reached out today asking about whether there were any additional service provided in the wake of congestion pricing to deal with higher ridership. We pointed him to the October schedule revisions that included, I think, three. He was pretty good interested in the Harlem line. We showed there were 3 new trains on the Harlem line as a result of that. But it does raise the other issue of, does Metro North track, I don't see this in any of the public disclosures, does Metro North track crowding on the trains? Because that is something that I think is becoming more of an issue as more people get back to work. And it varies a lot from train to train. I was wondering if that can be made public, or what kind of discussions going around.
Probably not gonna release that publicly, but we do track that, and that's how we help determine the length of censuses. So, a lot of trains have gone from 6 to 8, some of them open up to 10 depending on the train, depending on where it's servicing. But we definitely do track them, track load ratings and averages on trains based on times and things of that nature.
Are they experiencing any, I know the fall is always a tough season, with car availability, is that a problem this year, or how is that playing out?
We've actually been having fairly strong availability, with Real True and with the laser train, we've actually had a lot more availability and a lot less issues. We're coming with things coming off the road for mechanical reasons. So that hasn't been an issue, and I think we actually did expand a couple of the trains, not all that long ago. In that area, but also, the amount of people who ask for us to add cars to the front of the train because they want to be where they want to be. The issue isn't necessarily seats, it's where the seats are. It's a very common problem, and that's just not something that we can accommodate, we can't have everyone in the first car.
Double decker car maybe?
No, you can't ride double deckers because of the height of the tunnel.
Yeah, I know.
One question for Andy, that this came up a lot on the Long Island Railroad side of things, but it applies to both. So when riders are showing proof of their senior or disability ticket discount, typically they're able to use their Metro card that has a photo ID and their name on it as proof to the conductor to show that they qualify for it. And now with the reduced fare Omni card, it no longer shows a picture, so it's a little bit harder to cross-reference, but theoretically, they're still supposed to be able to use those Omni cards. And we've seen a few reports, mostly on the Long Island Railroad side, that some conductors are not letting people use that as proof, even though they're technically supposed to, or just saying, oh, you don't look like you qualify for this. Just wondering if you've seen that on the Metro North side.
We haven't seen it on the Metro North side at all. I'd like to think we're better trained than on Long Island, that's why we're not having those issues.
All our railroads here.
Looking at the Omni card second,
We've never seen them.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it with me, but how do you tell that person is a senior? Looking at the Omni card, because they don't have a
Yes, that's-
picture on it anymore.
Yeah, that is the issue.
I
Well,
think they
I
won't
believe that aren't there names on the senior Omni card now?
There is a name, it's just that I think.
So I think technically the training is supposed to be match the name to the driver's license and that, or any photo ID. That would.
Medicare card is
Correct. But, again, for senior, an ID with an age on it is also acceptable for them. So there's a lot of different options in a lot of different ways.
Okay. Just wanted to flag that in case you do hear that come up.
Yep.
Russell.
Yeah, going back to the overcrowding of the cars. As I recall, on some app, I don't know whether it's my MTA app or just the Google map.
Train time, it shows weight loading on each car actively.
So I'm wondering why we don't publicize that.
Oh, we do. People just still want to sit in their first car where they want to be to get off at Grand Central. Or, when they're going home, it's less of an issue because people disperse throughout the course of the train a lot more. Because that's where their parking is or where they are on boarding. But especially when it's coming in the morning, everyone wants to either be in the first car where they can just walk out and be closest to Grand Central, or some people like to be in the last car so they can be by the 47th Street passage. But less people there than want to be right as close to 42nd Street as possible.
So,
People just want us to add cars at the front of the train.
just, but
There are a few trains that are,
consider,
crowded all the way through.
Yeah, but, right.
I know you guys run.
Yeah, no, we do have some trains that are in the morning that get up into the 80% capacity for the entirety of the train. But it's funny, we will get some very loud complaints about people wanting more capacity on a train that is 60% full.
so
Unfortunately, so before you came in, I was sharing, so last night there were a lot of delays late in the peak hours. And I rolled my eyes at one point and unsolicited, another rider next to me gave me a lecture about how glad I should be to be on Metro North and not the Long Island Road. And
Hey, it could be even worse.
It could be, we have nothing to complain about.
Exactly.
So the riders do
No,
appreciate.
our riders, our on-time performance west of Hudson on the lines that are, the
Well,
New
that
Jersey
is-
Transit runs for us are all doing very, very well right now. They've actually been hitting above the goal, for the past couple of months, since all summer, and they've actually been like in the 90s and getting towards our riding, our numbers, which
My
we've been.
report had the
Yep.
statistics, and it was 96.
A couple of months ago, I gave a talk up in
Yep.
Arsenal about
96
the history of Metro North and so on, and the audience was very attentive, and they really asked some very good questions, which really surprised me. They were very interested in this subject. And I said, well, you don't have any complaints, I'm sure, but if you ever do, feel free to get in touch. And once you said, no, everything is good, the service is excellent, we have absolutely, not one person had any complaint. There were about 200 people in the room. And it makes you feel good to hear that, really.
Yeah.
Especially you, since you work here. Yeah.
Well, these-
Ross has got another issue.
Ross?
Yeah, I just wonder if we've ever considered having the conductor announce that, there's seating in the middle of the train.
They
Typically.
often do.
Yeah.
Especially both walking up and down and over the loudspeaker, that especially in the morning, move back, there's additional seating where there is, that is a very common announcement. I've heard it myself.
Okay,
Complaint a while back, somebody wanted another car on this train. And then they put another car on the train, and the person came back with another complaint. Why did you put it on the front of the train? It's still, the front part is still crowded. It's crowded.
I've had that conversation more than once. And trying to explain that to someone is always a fun one. Yeah.
In the email that you sent around, there was a link to a story that I don't know what people, but it was a Broadway performer who complained that when she gets off at 10:35 at night, she has to,
The commute to Hartsdale is not ideal.
no, she was on a Bedford.
No, it's Hartsdale.
Austin. Well, then it-
Cause it's the switch from,
Right. You have there's that 80-minute gap.
there's that one spot that there's it changes, yeah.
Can you fix it?
I'll talk to Sean, I know that was raised.
I mean, they did add, one of the trains that was added on October 5th is a new 10:19 PM express. Which does actually close the gap quite a bit.
But I don't think that helps her because it's still,
That's fair.
Yeah, she gets out at 10:30, she wants a train at like 11 o'clock, and I think the train is still. Like 11:15 or something like that.
I haven't finished.
There was an 80-minute gap, but she was only waiting for about 40 of the minutes of it. Even adding in the train doesn't really help much. It closes the gap down till, 55 minutes. He's still on the wrong end of this.
So many other things that come up. I was late evening. That there was a big gap in the express service or limited going to Tarrytown. I haven't finished working on it yet, but I don't know why there's a train that goes, it's 887 that goes to Poughkeepsie, doesn't stop in Tarrytown. It makes no sense. It would save like 20-25 minutes on somebody going up. Train 887 doesn't stop there. You have to take 789, which departs a few minutes later, and then you really come up late. So I just have to find a few minutes to send them to you.
Yep.
I'll do that. I thought there was further discussion, so I brought some of them. I could, to look at it.
Better guard those.
Yes, I do.
We're seeing any more.
All right, old business. So Rich, let's give you, if you want to talk about what we missed giving you the opportunity to speak last month. Again, apologies that we didn't see your hand up.
Yeah, I was just, again, I didn't get a chance to meet the county exec this month because I didn't have a good response where we are from Metro North. Is it in the capital budget for the Harriman train station? And then I did read, I apologize. Someone sent me that there were some minor upgrades to the Harriman station, but again, if you read, they weren't really construction upgrades. And my thing is, I think, again, I don't have the statistics, but is Harriman the largest ridership on west of Hudson?
No, it's far from it. It's not even top five.
Excuse me?
It's not even largest on the Hudson line. Beacon's largest on the Hudson line when you're talking about
No,
riders.
no, I'm west of Hudson.
Harriman.
Oh, Harriman, sorry. Sorry, largest, it's the largest, Harriman is largest. I heard Harriman, I apologize. Harriman is largest on Port Jervis. I have to check. I think one or two of Pascack Valley line stations actually both beat it.
With the program and what?
Yeah. I have to, Spring Valley doesn't, but Nanuet is,
And the
Yeah.
Webmart.
and they're both close, if not, Nanuet, I think does. I have the numbers, but not in front of me at the moment.
Yeah, and my reason for asking is, I know it has capacity of about 300 cars. Harriman, it's probably the biggest because the MTA police station
It's
is
not the biggest
also,
parking lot there, and its capacity is actually much larger than that. I think it's actually closer to 800 or 900 cars. And then we have an 1,800 car lot west of Hudson. So it's not largest by any stretch of the imagination.
yeah. And again, I mean, I didn't take any pictures. I should have sent you pictures. The shelters where people hang out when it rains or bad weather, they're the original. They're the metal shelters with the plexiglass, and it holds about, I guess, 12 people. And there are 3 of those metal shelters, whereas we made major upgrades to the Nanuet station. And I was wondering if at all possible, is that the design of the future with all the new technology? I mean, you have it inside the new Nanuet train station, where they can purchase tickets, and I guess there's a seating capacity. There's no seating in the shelters at Harriman. You have to stand up. So I was trying to get from Metro North, is it in the capital budget for the next year or two to upgrade the shelters? And we really didn't get an answer. At least I don't think we got an answer. Did we?
Send pictures.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't believe there are station improvements west of Hudson that are currently planned. I think everything there is still within its useful life. From my recollection, but again, if you send over an email, and I can at least double check with Paul and the capital team. Middletown has a parking lot of nearly 1,400 spots.
Oh, wow.
If you could just summarize it in 7 minutes.
So just to answer the what is the largest parking lot? It was Middletown has a lot of extra capacity, and Salisbury Mills has a large lot as well.
So if you could summarize it and just send us.
Yeah. All right. So I'll just
You can
send.
have that as well.
I'll take some pictures, and I'll follow up with what my request is for upgrading the shelters. Okay.
It is the most oversized with nearly 1,800 with like
That's the
1,800
yeah.
Cortland.
or more spots.
There are 2 stations in Horseman, but it's
Portland. Harmon actually has like good capacity and use. Portland has an immense build out of parking lot that,
Yes.
yeah,
Full party, but
but. The town there is actually talking about a TOD project, so that
Oh, yeah?
would be exciting. But yeah.
All right, like I said, I'll take pictures and I'll send them in. Okay, thank you, Randy.
Okay, all right. So is there any other old business? About some new business?
Yeah, I got one item. I noticed this morning, since it's now getting chilly out, and especially along the Hudson, it's a little bit windy. I went in the shelter, platform shelter at the arsoning station this morning. I hadn't been there since the spring, because you don't go in there in the summer. Anyway, there's like a film over the glass in that shelter, and maybe some others as well.
There's
But-
one at Tarrytown also. So it's like rolled back.
It's like a plastic film pasted over the glass. And a couple of panes of those have been peeled off. Somebody figured out how to peel them off and peeled them off. So you can see out of those few windows. But why they have this film over the glass that makes the view opaque, you can hardly see anything out of those things.
I'll go over to the other side. I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
Okay. There's probably a reason, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's a reason, or if it's a good reason, okay, but if not.
It's the southernmost shelter. I saw that. I didn't think that something was. Alright,
Are they trying to minimize the wind in the winter?
I'm sorry.
Are they trying to minimize the wind in the winter? It's a shelter?
No, this wouldn't have anything to do with the wind. You go inside to minimize the wind, but the windows have nothing to do with that. I mean, there's just a plastic film that's pasted over the glass.
Like a privacy, like smoke, so you can't see in or out?
No,
Is
it's
that
just,
what
it's clear.
Yeah,
It's
it's
for the
clear.
something.
Is it like an anti-glare, maybe, like?
Well, it makes it opaque. Instead of a clear view out of the window, you can see the train coming. It's all, it's like opaque. It's
Like-
out of focus kind of thing.
Like the
It's like blurred.
tall windows.
Maybe it's like that for a reason.
Yeah, I have seen some.
I would think it's like for a reason, blurred glass or something, I'm not sure.
Anything else anybody has? All right, so we have, next month, was it December the 6th?
I believe so.
Okay, Rich, I hope you're gonna be there,
Oh, December the 4th.
December 4th,
Fourth?
is
December the
BCAC.
4th.
Yeah,
BCAC,
Thursday.
Rich, you hear me?
12th to June.
Oh, the BCAC, yeah.
So 2 Broadway, 2 Broadway.
Rich,
I'm here.
I hope
I'm
you're
here.
gonna, the next meeting in December. We could talk offline about it.
Yeah.
Good.
The date again is
December the 4th, 12 noon, 2 Broadway.
this, yeah, 2 Broadway. Okay, yeah, I have it in my calendar.
Okay, good.
All right,
Uh, One more thing. On the display on that screen up there, there was a question. Are you able to scroll up on that? Because it's no longer there,
Yeah, hold on.
but there was a question about there you go.
Oh, the
Speaking of
rear-
on-time performance, even though the west of Hudson lines are operated by NJT, is there some way we can get a radar MTA kind of tracking on those trains? We may not need car by car crowding info, but location would be nice. That's the question the person asked.
Well, actually,
I'm
they
not
do
sure I follow.
kind of have it.
Is on Rich. if you
this is
wanna
for
ask
transit have
us about
tracking.
Are we talking about like crowd loading? What type of tracking? The,
He's asking if there's even location tracking, but he would love to have car by car loading as well
All right, let me,
for the western ones.
yes, they do have it.
Yeah.
So here, this is it's on their station, the departure app. So here's a train 1613, which is a westbound train. It's you geographically north. It shows there's 3 cars on there, and they do have colors similar.
Or they do have it, so.
Sure.
That's the answer to that
They
question.
do have it.
I know he's on, but I don't know if he might be busy.
Well,
Yeah, we can send it.
Do we need a motion to adjourn?
Yes, no, I'm just finishing up on it.
Okay.
I was just looking at, getting, yes, and this is on the northeast corner, this is the departure vision, the Secaucus upper level, so.
Get that to Rich to show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send it
Loading
to
this
us,
on-
we'll send
onto
it to him.
Up to the app.
Oh, wait, he's responding, he says, oh, he doesn't think New Jersey Transit is actually live tracking.
Well, they do,
But
they
it
do
might be
have,
scheduled.
it's, they kind of, they don't push this thing yet, but, just for example, that one train that I showed before on the Pascack Valley line. There's a little button to push it, it shows, it actually does show the train.
Just, do you wanna, you can show it up to this camera right here.
Rich, if you look at the screen, we're showing you live. If you can.
Live and in person.
It shows, I believe it's live.
1613.
Oh, we said it's this, I can see it,
Okay, perfect.
hold on, but
All right,
something else, I don't. there you go.
they don't advertise this
Okay.
stuff, well,
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
right, you're right,
so I'll make a motion to.
it can always be better.
All in
Thank you for
favor?
joining.
Thank you.
Good holiday.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope to see you December the
Yes,
4th.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.